Hello, 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 and welcome to Evolve with me. If this is your first time here, hi, and thank you so much for pressing play. And if you've somehow found this right at the beginning, welcome to episode 1. My name's Dayle, and I will be your host. So, just to paint a visual for you all, I am starting this podcast and recording it at home. This inevitably entails life happening all around me. So you might hear birds outside, dogs barking, the general hum of everyday life. And I just wanted to say that from the start because that's kind of what this podcast is all about. Real life, not polished and not perfect. And honestly, I'm feeling rather excited. I don't know if you can tell. But also a little nervous. And I've definitely got butterflies. But it also feels right. A few years ago, I myself started listening to podcasts. I dove straight in, really. I was listening to self-help, self-development, mindset shifts, spirituality, even gardening. And I've loved every single moment of it. I've listened whilst walking, cleaning, lying in bed, driving. I've learned, I've laughed, I've reflected. And a little tidbit about me. When I observe someone and I begin to admire them and resonate with their message, I think to myself, wow, they will have started podcasting just like me at the beginning. They too probably had butterflies in their belly with a bit of fear inside of them. But I believe they will have had a desire to share their wisdom, their knowledge, and that led me to thinking, well, if they can do it, so can I. Usually when we have ideas, they're linked to everyday things, aren't they? Normal life stuff. But every now and then, an idea surfaces that feels bigger. Like, oh my gosh, this idea that I've got, it's so out there. And those kind of ideas can do one of two things, can't they? They can keep us exactly where we are if we don't act on them. Or, if we do act on them, they may hold the potential to elevate our lives. Some of the greatest things invented by people, just like us, started with an idea. So, when I shared the idea of starting a podcast with my friends, up until that point it was just an idea in my head, right? When I told my friends, they were so supportive and encouraging and excited for me. Also, my intuition would not leave me alone. It kept on nudging me in this direction. So, with this happening, my friends telling me to go for it. Well, these messages became harder not to listen to, which is the case, isn't it? So, I decided to begin this whole new chapter by starting this podcast. Also, energetically speaking, I feel the time is right for me to record this podcast as we have now entered a year 1. Numerologically speaking, gosh, that's a big word, isn't it? And a year 1 is all about new beginnings, fresh starts, and planting seeds for a new chapter. I don't know about you, but I love starting new things. And whether you're into numerology or not, that idea really resonated with me. Also, this year is the year of the horse, which inspires me to gallop towards my desires, pun intended. Now, I want to be totally transparent with you all. I am not an expert in self-development, psychology, or spirituality in any formal sense. And this podcast is not about telling you what you should do or what you shouldn't do. It's not a lecture, and I'm definitely not stood here on a pedestal. The purpose of this podcast is conversation. It's about sharing experiences, past, present, and future. It's about talking. It's about talking through the tips, the coping mechanisms, the mindset shifts, and maybe some spiritual practices thrown into the mix that have helped me in some way. And I think this part really matters. I don't have everything worked out. And that's kind of the point. Because growth doesn't come from having all the answers. It comes from being honest enough to notice when something isn't working. And from being willing to evolve. I'm not here because I've suddenly arrived and have everything worked out. I'm here because I'm evolving just like everyone else. And I want to share through conversation what I am learning. So, what can you expect from Evolve with me? You can expect honest conversations about the highs, the lows, and all the in-between moments we don't talk about nearly enough. You can expect to feel supported, cheered on. You might discover a few techniques I've tried myself. And hopefully, you'll feel gently encouraged to create change when it feels right for you, without pressure and without judgment. My aim is simply to offer awareness, honesty, and my own perspective on things, creating space for small, meaningful shifts over time. That's evolution, isn't it? So why the name Evolve with me? We all remember learning about evolution at school. Well, I most definitely do, especially the biological side of it, because I really struggled with it. With adaptation, survival, change over time. But as I've grown, I've become to realise, to me, evolution goes far beyond our biology. Evolution includes the mind. And when we bring the mind into it, evolution becomes about our mindsets, our behaviours, our attitudes, and how we show up in the world. That idea fascinates me because it's one of the things that we all share, that we all have in common. We are all evolving. And I really want to say this clearly. Evolution isn't about fixing yourself or myself, as we are not broken. Evolution is about awareness, about growth, and about choice. So I chose the name Evolve with me because I wanted something inviting, not instructive, something that says, come along with me on this journey we call life. Let's learn together, let's be real, let's show up as our true authentic selves. Let's help each other by sharing what we've learned along the way. Life can feel lonely at times. I know that feeling well. So this podcast is also my way of saying, you're not alone. We're not alone. I'm going to be here, sharing my experiences, my reflections, my wisdom, and my evolution. And if it helps even just one person feel a little less alone, one person that resonates with my message, with what I have to say, then that matters. Before I finish, I want to share a little glimpse of what you can expect in future episodes. I'm going to be exploring things like delay. We have all been there, and we question why. Why do we put off the things that matter the most, even when we know exactly what we want to do? This podcast is a great example, but more about that in that episode. I'll talk about the fear of time running out, that quiet underlying panic so many of us carry, but rarely say out loud, with tips on how to change our mindsets of time. Those will feature in that episode. We'll explore purpose, what it really means when you feel lost, misaligned, or unsure of your direction. And I'll also explore what it means to live a magical life, using tools like intention, law of attraction, and spirituality in a grounded, real world way. And I've got a funny feeling there will be an episode on the imposter syndrome and owning our power, especially when self doubt creeps in. Everything I share on this podcast will come from lived experience, not from a qualification, but from my own experiences. So it's not going to be perfect. I will continue recording this podcast at my home and everything, but one thing for sure I will give to all my listeners is pure honesty. So, to finish off, I want to introduce something that will be part of every episode. A friend of mine actually suggested this, and I loved it. It's called Dayle's Daily Prompt. I know it sounds cheesy, but I actually do love this. So, if you've stayed with me until the end of this very first episode, you can't see me, but I'm saying thank you, and I'm touching my heart. I'm so happy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's been a ride, hasn't it? So yeah, the prompt is, I'd love to invite you to reflect on two things. First, where am I right now in my life? And second, if there is one thing I could grow and evolve in, what would it be in 2026? These prompts will also be written in the episode description, and if you feel called to, you are so welcome to share your reflections in the comments. So I just want to finish off by saying thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so grateful that you have clicked play on this episode. I'm so grateful and so thankful for you spending this time with me. If something from today resonated, take it with you into your day. And until next time, keep evolving. Take care. Toodaloo.